In the summer of 2017, Thomas McAllister, a 32-year-old avid hiker and nature photographer from Colorado, set out on a solo expedition into the rugged terrain of the Weminuche Wilderness area. Known for its stunning landscapes and challenging trails, this vast expanse of wilderness attracts many adventurers seeking solitude and beauty. For Thomas, it was the perfect setting. Thomas was well prepared for his journey. An experienced hiker, he meticulously packed his gear: a lightweight tent, a high-quality sleeping bag, a well-stocked first aid kit, a GPS device, and a camera with multiple lenses. He also brought a journal to document his experiences and observations. His itinerary included a 5-day hike through some of the most remote parts of the wilderness, culminating in a descent into a hidden valley known for its isolation and natural splendor. Before he left, Thomas made sure to inform his family and close friends of his plans. He provided them with his route and expected return date, as well as the contact details for the park ranger station in case of emergencies. Thomas was always cautious and thorough, understanding the inherent risks of solo hiking in such a vast and untamed area. Thomas embarked on his trip with high spirits. The first few days went smoothly. The weather was favorable, with clear skies and mild temperatures. He reveled in the solitude, enjoying the serenity of the wilderness as he hiked through lush forests and along pristine streams. Each evening, he set up camp in picturesque locations, taking time to photograph the beauty around him and jot down his thoughts in his journal. On the third day, Thomas reached a remote section of the Weminuche Wilderness that was known for its challenging terrain and breathtaking views. He set up camp near a small, secluded lake surrounded by dense forest and towering peaks. It was a serene spot, and Thomas felt a deep sense of peace as he settled in for the night. The only sounds were the gentle lapping of the lake's water and the occasional call of a distant bird. That night, Thomas was awakened by a strange noise. It was a faint, rhythmic tapping sound, unlike anything he had heard before. He initially thought it might be the wind or a small animal, but the sound persisted, growing louder and more rhythmic. The tapping seemed to be coming from somewhere outside his tent, and it was accompanied by an occasional low, unsettling hum. Unable to ignore the noise, Thomas unzipped his tent and stepped outside with his flashlight. The night was dark and still, with only the beam of his flashlight piercing the darkness. He scanned the area around his campsite but saw nothing out of the ordinary. The tapping sound had ceased, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. He returned to his tent, feeling uneasy but trying to rationalize the experience as a natural occurrence. The next morning, Thomas found no signs of disturbance. His campsite was undisturbed, and the area around the lake was as tranquil as before. He shrugged off the previous night's events as a figment of his imagination and continued with his hike, though he couldn't shake off a lingering sense of discomfort. On the fourth day, Thomas planned to explore a nearby ridge known for its stunning panoramic views. He packed his camera and hiking gear and set off early in the morning. The weather was clear, and he was excited to capture some new shots. However, as the day progressed, Thomas's family grew increasingly worried when they did not hear from him as planned. When Thomas failed to return to his designated pickup point by the end of the fifth day, his family reported him missing. A search and rescue operation was quickly launched. The initial search focused on the trail Thomas was known to be hiking. Rescue teams equipped with dogs and tracking equipment scoured the area, but there was no sign of Thomas. The search area was soon expanded to include the remote lake where Thomas had camped. Search teams found his campsite in good condition, with his gear neatly packed and his tent still set up. However, there was no sign of Thomas. His journal was left open on a log, and the last entry was dated the previous day. The last entry in Thomas's journal was troubling. It described his hike up to the ridge and his excitement about the views. However, the final pages were scrawled with hasty, disjointed writing. Thomas mentioned feeling a growing sense of dread and an eerie presence around the lake. He wrote about hearing strange noises at night and seeing shadows moving at the edge of his flashlight's beam. The entry abruptly ended with the words, "Something is not." The search continued for weeks, with volunteers and professional teams combing the area. Despite their best efforts, no concrete evidence was found. The searchers encountered difficult terrain, unpredictable weather, and dense forests, which made the task even more challenging. There were no signs of a struggle, no footprints leading away from the campsite, and no clues indicating Thomas's whereabouts. The only item of interest found was a set of unusual footprints near the lake. They appeared to be larger than a human's and were partially obscured by the surrounding vegetation. The footprints led to the edge of the lake but stopped abruptly. They did not continue beyond the water's edge, leaving investigators with more questions than answers. The disappearance of Thomas McAllister sparked numerous theories and speculations. Some believed that he might have encountered a dangerous animal or suffered an accident. Others suggested that he might have become disoriented or had a medical emergency. However, the lack of evidence made it difficult to pinpoint a cause. One theory that gained traction among local residents was that Thomas might have encountered something supernatural. Stories of strange occurrences and unexplained phenomena in the Weminuche wilderness had circulated for years. Some speculated that Thomas's unsettling experiences might have been related to these legends. Despite extensive efforts, the case of Thomas McAllister's disappearance remains unsolved. His family and friends continue to hope for answers, but the mystery of his fate endures as a chilling reminder of the unknown dangers of the wilderness. The Weminuche wilderness, once a place of beauty and solitude, now holds an air of unease for those who hear Thomas's story. Thomas's disappearance has become one of many mysterious cases in the realm of outdoor adventures. It serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of the wild and the potential perils that can arise even for the most experienced and well-prepared hikers. Thomas McAllister's story has left a lasting impact on those who knew him and those who have heard about his disappearance. It has fueled discussions about the risks of solo hiking and the importance of being prepared for the unexpected. It also highlights the need for vigilance and awareness when venturing into remote and unfamiliar areas. The wilderness remains a place of both beauty and danger, and Thomas's story is a poignant reminder of the unpredictable nature of the wild. As the search for answers continues, his memory lives on in the hearts of those who loved him and in the cautionary tales shared among adventurers. The eerie presence, the strange noises, and the mysterious footprints add to the allure and dread of the Weminuche wilderness, making it a place of both fascination and fear. The story of Thomas McAllister serves as a haunting reminder that even the most experienced adventurers are not immune to the dark and enigmatic forces that may lurk in the depths of the wilderness. This extended account captures the eerie and unsettling nature of Thomas McAllister's disappearance, reflecting the real-life horror of solo trips gone wrong. His sudden absence left an unsettling void, a chilling reminder of how the serene facade of nature can quickly unravel into a nightmare.